Welcome to the official channel dedicated to Sheikh Hamdan, a realm where love knows no boundaries, and poetry pours straight from the royal soul. Today, you are about to witness a heartfelt confession, a tribute to a timeless truth that defies all stereotypes. Darling, love has no age. The words you are about to hear come from the depths of a heart that has never known limits, rules, or expiration. It's a message that transcends age, status, and tradition, a poem that is raw, regal, and real. Darling, when I look into your eyes, I don't see the years you've lived. I see the depth of love you've learned. The world may whisper its numbers, but I only hear the silent language we speak through our glances, our touches, our shared silences. You, my love, are the kind of woman who has danced through storms, who has known both the ache of waiting and the ecstasy of being chosen. I didn't fall in love with your youth. I fell in love with your wisdom, your patience, your grace. And I say this, boldly, your age is not a flaw, it's my favorite verse in your story. I have seen younger women adorned in gold, yet none shone brighter than the glow of your spirit. I have walked through rooms of roses, but none smelled like the soul of the one who dared to love me without expectations. My darling, the world may question, they may raise brows and cast shadows, but what we have, this radiant, mature, courageous love, is untouchable. Let them speak, for we are busy writing our own poetry, one where every line defies logic and every stanza sings of freedom. There's something about your hands when they touch mine, it's not newness, it's remembrance. It's as if my soul had been waiting lifetimes to feel this kind of tenderness. You didn't just come into my life, you returned to me, like a missing piece I didn't even know I was missing. You taught me that passion isn't loud, it's steady. That real love isn't fire, it's embers that never die. And in your arms, I've learned what it truly means to be held, not just in flesh, but in trust. People say love fades. But our love is a wine that grows richer with time. You've lived. You've wept. You've healed. And that makes your love potent. Real. Irresistible. You've never played games. You don't hide behind false smiles. And in a world of fleeting affection, you are an anthem of permanence. You, my darling, have made me a poet again, not because of your beauty, but because of your bravery to love without apology. They called it scandal when I chose you. They called it rebellion when I whispered your name in royal halls. But I call it destiny. I call it divine. For what kind of prince would I be if I couldn't fight for the love that truly chose me, instead of settling for what the world deemed appropriate? I'd rather be judged by the world and loved by you than worshipped by many and known by none. In your presence, I don't feel older or younger, I feel eternal. I feel ageless, because love like ours cannot be confined to dates or decades. You don't complete me, my queen, you crown me. You remind me that real power is being vulnerable enough to say, this is the woman I love, and I don't care who knows. I wear your name like a sword on my tongue and a crown in my heart. I remember the first time you looked at me, not as a prince, not as a public figure, but just as a man. A man with hopes, doubts, longings. And in that moment, I knew. You were not impressed by titles, but by truths. You saw me. And when someone sees you like that, age melts away, and all that's left is soul touching soul. Darling, in your love, I am reborn again and again. They write fairy tales about princesses in towers. But ours is a legend written in twilight and firelight, where the queen is older, wiser, stronger. And the prince bows not out of duty, but out of admiration. You are not behind me, walking in my shadow. You are beside me, shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart. We are equals not in years, but in the courage it takes to love against all odds. Sometimes I wonder what I did in my past life to deserve you. Maybe I built temples with my bare hands, or saved oceans from drowning in silence. Or maybe, I simply wished hard enough in this life. Whatever the reason, I thank fate every day. Because having you in my life has turned every sunset into poetry and every morning into music. Let this be our legacy, my beloved, that we loved without shame, without borders, without apology. Let history remember that Sheikh Hamdan chose love not because it was easy, but because it was real. And let the stars above bear witness that in the vast desert of expectations, I found my oasis in you. A woman who was never too old to be adored, and a man who was never too royal to kneel at the altar of her heart. So let them talk, let them speculate. While the world counts candles on your birthday cake, I'll be counting the blessings of having you in my arms. Because darling, love has no age, and this love, our love, was written before we were even born. It is written now. And it will echo forever. Every time I close my eyes, I don't see the pages of a calendar, I see moments. Those sacred flashes when your eyes met mine across the silence, when your laughter filled the quietest corners of my world. I remember the first time your hand brushed mine, and though time had left its graceful mark upon your skin, to me it was the softest touch I had ever known. You didn't need to chase youth because you carried elegance in your every step. You were not trying to be someone else. You were exactly what my soul had longed for. They speak of age like it's a barrier, like it's a line not to be crossed. But love, the kind we share, does not recognize such lines. You didn't arrive in my life to complete me, but to awaken parts of me that had been buried under expectations and royal obligations. You didn't just touch my heart, you commanded it. Your presence is not loud, but it is mighty. When you walk into a room, everything else fades. And though the world might call you older, in the royal halls, whispers turned into storms. Advisors exchanged glances, and headlines twisted truth into fiction. But I remained unshaken. Because for the first time in my life, I had something worth protecting, not a kingdom, not a crown, but a woman whose love was pure, whose loyalty was unshakable, and whose soul called out to mine like an ancient melody only we could hear. And if protecting you meant facing the world, I would do so again and again without fear. You have taught me more than any scroll, scholar, or ceremony ever could. You taught me that the measure of a woman is not in how long she's been alive, but how deeply she has lived. You taught me that silence can be powerful, that pain can give birth to poetry, and that love, true love, needs no permission. You showed me that age is not a weakness, but a map of survival, of endurance, of strength that few truly understand. You are a masterpiece of time's own making. There were nights I watched you sleep beside me and whispered prayers of gratitude. Not because I had found a woman, but because I had found the woman. The one whose scars didn't scare me, they enchanted me. The one who didn't need to be taught how to love, because she already knew how to stay, how to believe, how to fight. And if the stars above could speak, they would write constellations in your honor, my love. Do you remember when you told me, with trembling lips, that you feared our love wouldn't be accepted? That the world would not understand? My darling, let the world try. Let them attempt to understand what only hearts like ours can feel. What we have is not for headlines or approval, it is sacred. It is the kind of love that emperors would envy and poets would die trying to describe. I chose you not despite your age, but because of everything your age has brought with it: grace, honesty, power. When you walk beside me, I don't see difference, I see destiny. I see how our energies match, how your presence steadies me when the world spins too fast. You make me want to write more, speak less, love harder. You are not my secret, my dear, you are my story. One I am proud to tell, loudly, fearlessly, with every beat of my heart. Because if there is anything royal about me, it is the way I kneel before the truth of you. I've stood on mountains and touched the clouds, but nothing compares to the peace of lying beside you after a long day, listening to your voice read to me, the way your fingers comb through my hair like you're rewriting my fate. You don't need to impress anyone, for you impressed time itself by surviving it with such fire. I admire you more than you will ever know. You are not my future alone, you are my anchor, my muse, my ever-burning flame. The poets can write of young love all they want. But I will forever write of us, of the way you stood your ground when they questioned you, of the way you held my hand even when the world was trying to tear us apart. You, my love, have the strength of 1,000 storms. And still, you love so gently. That contradiction is what makes you art. You're the only chapter I want to reread for the rest of my life. Every wrinkle on your face is a verse of poetry. Every line etched into your skin is a path I trace with reverence. You are not fading. You are blooming in ways the world has never seen before. You have given me the kind of love that kings go to war for, that deserts bloom for, that eternity bends its rules to accommodate. And if love like ours is rare, let us protect it like the sacred treasure it is. There is no age in the language of hearts. There is only connection, truth, longing. And you, my beloved, have given me a love story that will echo long after we are gone. Our names will be spoken in hushed awe by those who dare to dream beyond borders, beyond expectations, beyond time. You are my timeless queen, and I am your eternal poet. And this is only the beginning of our forever. So I end this poem not with a goodbye, but with a promise. That as long as I breathe, I will defy every wall, cross every desert, silence every doubt for you. That I will speak your name in verses the stars will memorize. That I will love you, without reason, without restraint, and most of all, without age. For darling, love has no age, and our love is proof. You are my morning light and my midnight calm. You are the reason I wake with purpose and sleep with hope. When I stumble, I think of your belief in me. When I doubt, I remember the strength in your love. You are the mirror that shows me not just who I am, but who I'm becoming. Because of you, I chase dreams with open arms. Because of you, I found faith in things I once feared. Your love isn't just a feeling, it's a fire that fuels everything I am. I've come to realize that true love isn't measured by grand gestures or perfect days. It's found in the small, quiet moments, the way you squeeze my hand without speaking, the way you lean your head on my shoulder when words run dry. It's the way we fight and find our way back, stronger each time. Real love, the kind we share, is built in the mess, in the growth, in the choosing each other, again and again, even when it's hard, especially when